Proof of the house price crash. So many people have been waiting for the crash, and maybe we are seeing 2008 or worse all over again, and I have proof. Before I give you proof, I'd like to ask you this. Do you think the property house prices are crashing now? Are you seeing prices drop in your area? How much do you think the property market will crash? In some ways, I believe that the house price crash is a scam. I'm going to do a live video on that later. The reason mainly being is because interest rates were suppressed artificially just above 0% for more than a decade. And so now they've gone up like 14 times, in the last 6 months, a year, because they were artificially suppressed. And now that's causing huge problems for people. But with every problem, there's an opposite opportunity. So, proof of the house price crash. And if you're one of those kind of people that's been waiting for the right time, how long are you going to wait? Maybe now is the right time. So, in November 2022, we saw the prices in Peterborough drop 15% in 1 month. Bearing in mind, in 2008 in our local city, the market only dropped 30% in an entire year and in total, yet it dropped nearly 15% in 1 month. So you can't tell me that's not a crash. Number two is I have a dear friend who's just remortgaging 131 properties. And he said that most of them have dropped as much as 25%. A couple of examples here. Number one is he had one at 420 that he spent 35 on, that a year later has been revalued at 330,000. He had one at 225, which a year later has been valued at 175,000. So this is real proof that it is really happening now. But let me ask you this. Are you going to wait and go, oh, well, they're going to come down another 20%? I mean, if they come down another 20%, then that could be up to 45%, depending on your area. Now, what you need to do is you need to go and find previous sold prices, find out what the peak was in your local area, and then you now need to go and see what houses are selling for. You need to go into an estate agent and ask them what our house is selling for. But I think it is a great time to start putting in those cheeky offers. Now, lots of people right now are asking me if it's a good time to buy property because they can see that the prices are crashing. They can see that interest rates are rising highly. Now, a lot of people say, well, it's a bad time because interest rates are high. But what's happened is rents have gone up 20, 25, even 30%. So that's covering the extra cost in mortgages on the interest rate rises. But on the home buyer side, the interest rate rises are doubling people's mortgages. They can't afford to pay for their own house anymore. And they're having to hand the keys back and getting repossessed. And this happened in 2008. So we're just seeing the cycle repeat itself. What was that? Nearly 16 years ago. So it's about time anyway. So let me ask you this. If now is not the time, when is the time? So let me know if you think prices are crashing. Let me know when you think the right time to buy is. The problem is, let's say you go, oh, Rob, I think the market will come down another 10% or 15%, or maybe you think more. Let me know what you think the market will fully come down by. Do you think 20%, 25%, more? Let me know in the comments. But let's say you wait for that lowest figure and then you're ready. And then you do some education, and then you go out and make some offers. It's too late. So it's never too late to buy property. It's never too late to buy property, but it's always too late to wait. It's a bit of a mouthful to buy property. So here's what I suggest. Go and get some books on property. Educate yourself on property. Go into the estate agent and put in some cheeky offers. Now, look, if you'd like help with education, mentorship, guidance and support, and you'd like it for less than 22 pence a day, no obligation, can cancel anytime, I recommend you join Rob.team. Rob.team is my digital financial freedom platform where we have covered loads of property content. I mean, I'm the author of at least a dozen property related books. And on a regular ongoing basis now, because this house price crash is real and here and now, I'm going to educate you to buy property with little or no money at the bottom of the market, getting really good yields and cash flows. And if you don't know how to do this and you don't know how to raise money, you don't have deposits, maybe that's the reason you should join Rob.team. So here's how you do it. It's really easy. Just open up a new webpage now and type in rob.team. T-E-A-M. Rob.team, less than 22 pence a day, cancel anytime, no ongoing contract, hundreds of hours of courses, resources and masterclasses on making, managing, multiplying and maintaining your money, and especially on investing, raising finance, getting into assets. And you know my favorite asset is property. People always say to me, Rob, what's your pension? No state pension. My pension is property. So very interesting times. Let me ask you again, what do you think the drop will be by? When are you going to get into property? When are you going to start investing so you can get recurring and passive income? And here's the good thing, by the way, about property. You don't need a degree. You don't need any regulation or qualifications. You can go and walk into an estate agent. You can say, hey, what was the peak prices of houses in our local area? They'll tell you. You can say, what are they roughly going for now? They'll tell you. You can say, oh, can I go and view a few houses I'm interested in buying? They'll show you. And then you can put in whatever offer you want. You can put in an offer 20% below prices of today, which were 20% below of prices last year. Nothing to stop you doing that. What's stopping you? Now, all the rich people in the UK and all the rich people in the world, do they own property or not? Of course they do. Now, look, I feel sorry for the homeowner. Don't get me wrong. You know, I feel sorry for people who believed that finance was 0.25%, whose mortgages have gone up from 0.25% to 7%. So, for example, my friend who's got 131 properties, his mortgages across the board now is fixed at 7%. The interest rates aren't 7% because the banks make their margin on top. So some people's mortgages have gone from 0.25% plus a bit of margin to 7%. And this is bad. You know, I don't want this to happen. This is one of the reasons why I think the house price crash is a bit of a scam, because they should have put interest rates up more gradually so people wouldn't have been so financially affected. But, you know, they were trying to hide all the shit from the last crash, but they were just kicking the can down the road. And there's going to be a huge amount of repost just like there was in 2008. And if someone's mortgage goes from 2% to 7%, they might have to hand the keys back. And this is bad news for homeowners. But it's good news for opportunists, entrepreneurs, investors, because you can now buy assets instead of buying them. So, for example, my friend was buying at 420. Now they're 330. He probably wants to put an offer in of about 260, 270. He's going to be getting properties for 280 grand that were 420 grand a year ago. So this is what many people have been waiting for. But you must invest in yourself because you are your best asset. So therefore, joining Rob.team for less than 22 pence a day, cancel anytime, no ongoing contract, hundreds of hours of courses, resources, masterclasses, materials, Zooms, a session every Sunday, you name it. But the key thing is not to wait. Don't wait to buy property and wait. So join Rob.team. It's less than 22 pence a day. I'm going to do a couple of new courses and masterclasses on raising money to get into property, no money down, because 50 properties in the first 2 years that I bought and held or bought and sold were none of my own money. And I'm going to teach you how to do that with myself and my mentors. How to build up multiple streams of income, how to replace your own pension, because let's be honest, the state pensions are fucked. I mean, there is not enough money for all these baby boomers that are going to live till they're, 85 to 100. And state pensions are, they're getting dipped into. The only pension you should be having is one you create yourself. And to me, property is the best pension. So let me know what you think. Is a house price crash here and now? Will it go down anymore? Are you looking to get into property? And then let me know what you think about my next idea for a video, which is why the house price crash is a scam, because this could have been avoided, or at least it could have been more leveled out. They could have let prices drop a little bit more post 2008, the initial crash, and then they could have stabilized it, and then they could have just had it grow a little more slowly if they hadn't have artificially suppressed interest rates. But that's what they've done. They kicked the can down the road. They created a massive housing bubble. Lockdown created a massive price bubble. And that bubble is bursting. And I believe it's bursting now. If you agree with me, I wonder if you wouldn't mind hitting the share button. If you have any other thoughts, questions or comments, I do get in and read them. I'm in the car actually about to go down to a couple of podcasts. I'll go through the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in Rob.team. And remember, if you don't risk anything, you risk everything.